Hey everyone, thanks for watching. So, continuing on my spiritual journey, I discovered another portion of my ancestry, one being this life and one being this past life, but both being the same thing, and that's the Powhatan people. Looking into it, the Powhatan people mostly inhabited Virginia, parts of Maryland, North Carolina, also known as the Algonquin people of Virginia. They were an indigenous culture, semi-nomadic. They descended from a nomadic culture, but most of them lived in dwellings, some permanent, some seasonal dwellings that they moved around with the seasons. There was about 20,000 Powhatan people in Virginia in that vicinity when the first European settlers came. And at first, the Powhatan people wanted to be friendly. They wanted to greet and welcome those first English settlers to Roanoke Island, Jamestown. And I'm sure you're familiar with the stories of John Smith and Pocahontas. Pocahontas was a Powhatan princess. But with the immigrants trying to take the land and more territory and bringing disease and destroying the earth, because the Powhatan people were like most indigenous people. They believed that they were part of the earth, that the earth was a living being, and that they were responsible to care for the earth because the earth took care of them. And seeing their people, their earth destroyed, they had no choice but to fight back to try to protect the universe, protect the earth, and protect what was theirs. And eventually, just like all the other indigenous people here in the Americas, they were driven from their homes, slaughtered, butchered, put in reservations. In fact, there's still a couple reservations of the Powhatan people in Virginia to this day. I think it's like 3,400 people, maybe. I can't remember the exact number, but that's what's ringing in my head. But that's part of history. As I said, you probably heard the story of Pocahontas and John Smith and the Jamestown colony. I've actually visited Jamestown. At the time, I didn't realize that I was Powhatan. If I did, I would looked at it differently, like I do now. But the problem is that we've been given a history in school and handed down history from the settlers' point of view, the history of Jamestown and the expansion and the colonies. But we're not taught the history. We're not taught the history of the indigenous people and what they had to endure so that these European settlers, some of which are my ancestors, that these European settlers came in and destroyed people, destroyed civilization, destroyed the earth. We're not taught that. And it's interesting, that just caught my mind. Some of my ancestors were English settlers, but some of my ancestors were also Powhatan. And that's hard to wrap your head around, knowing that you come from both sets. But I know who I am, and I know who I am supposed to be. And I'm supposed to be a voice to bring to the attention that those atrocities that happened, that discrimination, still goes on today. The people that did the things to the indigenous people back then are the people that's still in power now. And they're still doing the same things, just in different ways. And that's something that we have to change as a society. Thank you for listening. I hope that you are willing to make that change as well. And I hope that you can go on a spiritual journey of your own and learn more about yourself. Because we're all programmed to be who we're not supposed to be. And we have to escape that programming. Thank you again. Have a good day.